Hello my friends and welcome. My name is Dennis and as you probably know I'm the airline captain, and today we're going to talk about this. Let's go.
Bum bum.
On 5th of March, the group of environmental activists violated the law. They entered the secured area of Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. They went to the airplane stands and painted the Boeing 777-200 extended range modification with green color. And yes, this is the outlaw action and also act of vandalism. So from now on, in this video, I'll call them not eco-activists, but I'll call them vandals. Why not? There are three main things why do I hate those vandals and what they've done to that airplane. Yes, I can also be a hater in this case. So the first aspect is security. The second aspect is environmental. And the third one is moral aspect. Let's start from the first one, from the security.
Bum bum.
As human beings around the world, we have from one side our rights and let's say freedoms. On the other hand, we have rules to follow, and usually those rules called law. Before it used to be the religious laws, and in some parts of our earth the religion is still strong, so the country laws and religious laws are interconnected, but the idea is the same. So you have special rights and you can express yourself. Basically, you can tell what you think in many countries. In France, I'm sure about it. But if you expand your rights and violate the rules of the country, the law, that will automatically bring you to the justice. So in that case, you should be prosecuted and of course punished, because you are against the rules for your neighbors, the rules for your friends. Why you should violate it? Tell me. And automatically, if you express something, okay, we need to save this or we need to do this, and at the time you violate the rules, it means that what are you talking about is absolute nonsense. And yes, my friends, I'm a little bit angry today because of their action. And let me tell you, the aviation rules, the security measures are the most strict in aviation industry than in any kind of other industries, and there is the special thing why it is like that. Basically because the airplanes were used as the massive destruction weapon back in 2001. Recall 9/11. So that is why we have secured fence around the airfield. That is why we have cameras, we have security guys patrolling the area. But the good thing those vandals did is that they showed the weak spot in airport security. So I'm sure now that Charles de Gaulle security will reinforce their measures to control the perimeter of the airport, and will not see the similar incidents in the future, because now of course they just painted the airplane, they didn't go to the taxiway, they didn't go to the runway, but we don't know what is in their heads, we don't know what is on their mind. What's in your head? Hey, what's in your head, Greenpeace activist? Because tomorrow maybe you'll just go violate the rules again, you can hijack the truck, the fuel truck, and you may crash it to the airplane. We don't know. So we need to reinforce security measures, and we need to control these organizations that we're not actually fighting for environmental good of our planet Earth. And now I'll tell you why. Here goes the second thing, the environmental impact.
Bum bum.
Everything in aircraft design is unique. Usually it should be low weight and safe. The paint is not an exception. So tell me guys, do those vandals use the special aviation paint to paint the aircraft in green color? I'm 100% sure that they used the simple paint, and now this paint should be removed. To remove this paint, you should use the not even close to environmental friendly materials like paint removal. And also you may repaint the part, you need to repaint the part of the airplane, or maybe even the whole airplane. That will harm, of course, the nature. So from one side they are talking that they are fighting for environmental health of the planet, they are fighting for the nature, but their actions are totally opposite. Now the airline, of course, needs to repaint the aircraft because they cannot leave it like it is, because the green paint, the non-aviation green paint, is actually dangerous to use for aviation. Usually those vandals say that aviation has a great contribution in producing CO2 and increasing the greenhouse effect on our planet. Actually, this is totally wrong, my friends. Even before the crisis, the aviation impact on CO2 production was around 1%. Now, in the worst aviation crisis, it is several times lower. And also they want to replace most of the airplanes with trains. The airplane, the Boeing 777 that they've just painted, is the long-haul airplane. So usually it flies across the Atlantic Ocean to reach United States, Canada, Mexico, South America. Well, try to build the railroad there. Actually, the fully loaded Boeing 777 is one of the most efficient and the most environmental friendly ways to transport the goods and passengers around the world. That is why nowadays we see those airplanes delivering medical supplies and vaccines around, so they're helping us to overcome this crisis, bring our lives back to normality. If we speak about the railroads and electrical trains, they usually take their energy from the electrical stations, the power plants, and those power plants mainly use fossil fuels. Yes, for nowadays, for this point, the majority of power stations use fossil fuels. Do you know about that, vandals or activists, or how I should call you? Not probably. The vast majority of CO2 comes from factories, power plants, cars, volcanoes and cows. So next time please paint the cows in green color. Will be interesting to watch it. And believe me, they can do it, because the one thing they want hype. They want them appear on TV screens, they want them appear in the internet, nothing more, my friends. They don't fight for environment, they fight for the popularity, because there they can collect the money for their foundations, etc. Will they ever give you the receipt for that? Never.
Pum pum.
Okay, we discussed the legal aspect, the security, we discussed the environmental impact, and let's discuss the moral aspect of this story. The airplane, this particular Boeing 777, was grounded for almost 1 year. The last flight of it was in March last year, and it was painted in March this year. The aviation now is struggling. I can feel it, my friends can feel it, my airline can feel it, and airlines around the world can feel it. It's the worst crisis for aviation in aviation history. And now let's compare the airport and the airline with household and the family. I think this comparison is very close. Let's say that you have a nice family, wife and kids, and you live in a nice house. It's a private house with a backyard, with a garage, and you have several cars, you have a nice job, and sometimes you travel somewhere, almost ideal life. But suddenly crisis, you lose your job, it's getting hard for you to pay for your bills, to pay for your kids' education, and sometimes it's even hard to buy normal food for living. So you park your cars, one of the cars you put in a backyard, and you cannot pay for insurance, so you do not drive it. You drive just one car sometimes. So you are struggling, and now you think to sell one car because you don't really need it now, but there you can pay for your bills. However, one day or night, vandals come to your backyard and they just paint the car with some kind of green paint. Now you cannot sell it anymore, so you need to spend the money to repaint the car and then sell it. So imagine the impact on your financial state. The same principle applies to airline, but in bigger perspective. Now Air France needs to spend money to repaint the aircraft. Those money are not coming from nowhere. So you need to take this money from airline budget. Those money might have been used to secure someone's workplace, because now we have lots of job cuts, and in Air France as well. There are pilot layoffs, cabin crew layoffs, and airline staff layoffs. Yes, we live in a crisis time. The budget of every airline is very limited now. So this Vandalism Act is a very bad thing for airline as well as for airport.
Bum bum.
My friends, every action has its own reaction, and I hope those guys would be prosecuted and they will have what they deserve. And luckily the airplane wasn't hardly damaged, and I hope to see it again in the skies. If you like this video, press the like. If you don't like, press dislike. But anyway, I know most of you are awesome guys. That is why you need to follow this awesome guy checklist. First, you just need to like this video, then subscribe to my channel, and after that, ring the bell, whatever it means. Thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great time.
Bum bum.